Hey folks, thanks for joining me once again for another episode of SwillinGrog's Wonderful World of Beer. Well, German month's over and I've got quite a few beers lined up for you that have been sitting in the SwillinGrog beer fridge, deep chilling for some time now. The first one that we're going to have a look at is Metallica's Enter Night Pilsner, which comes in at 5.7% alcohol by volume. And it's brewed over in the US by Arrogant Consortia, who are a subsidiary of Stone Brewing. Now, I found this at First Choice Liquor Market. Decided to pick up a can. There was a time when I was once a huge fan of Metallica, but after 1991, when they released the Black Album, of which Enter Sandman is a song on that album that was quite popular, that went pop in fact, and a lyric from that song Enter Sandman is Enter Night, that's the name of this beer. But I gotta say, after that point in time I felt quite betrayed by Metallica. Their sound went very commercial, very pop. All the people that I knew at school that despised Metallica, their first four albums at least, were suddenly fans when the Black Album and the subsequent releases came out over time. So, yeah, it's left me scarred. What can I say, folks? So anyway, I digress a little there. So anyway, they've got a beer nowadays. So let's crack this 473ml can open, and I'll pour it out into this Spiegelau lager glass, and we'll see if it's any good. Getting much of a head there. Okay. Alright, I'll plonk it back down. Alright, so let's get a look at the appearance. Well, it's somewhat hazy, golden appearance, quite effervescent, little under a finger of bright white head there. I really should have poured it more aggressively. So let's move on to the aroma. I'm picking up a lot of, fruity hops that you typically smell, in a pale ale. So this I find rather alarming. It certainly doesn't, smell like a Pilsner. So anyway, let's find out what it tastes like, I suppose. So cheers to you all. Let's dive in. Well, it's got quite a hot bite to it, which again is quite uncharacteristic of a Pilsner. And that's what's sort of remaining in the palate. Yes, residual hop taste. That's quite bitter. And I'm not really getting much in the way of malt here. And for something that's 5.7% ABV, it tastes quite thin. The mouthfeel, is quite thin. Definitely quite light-bodied. It's a strange one, this, but it's lacing the glass nicely at least. But I will have another gulp. Look, to be brutally honest, it's in no way what I was expecting. Its taste profile is way off for a Pilsner. Yeah, it tastes, in a blind taste test, you would just think this was a pale ale. Right, so, is it drinkable, I suppose? Is it something you could session? I don't know, after a couple of these, I'd be looking for something else. Yeah, I've kind of, yeah, grown tired of hoppy beers. And this one has no kind of, malt presence to sort of balance out that, bitter hop taste as well. Yeah, it's not a very good brew at all, I'm afraid. If they called it Enter Night Pale Ale, I might think differently of it, but yeah, it ain't a Pilsner, I can tell you that much, folks. Yeah, they haven't done a good job with this at all. It's, yeah, quite crap, actually. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, taking into consideration the price point, it's an absolute rip-off, just a complete rort. Yeah, I mean, any Metallica fan who was, wanting a nice, Pilsner, yeah, named after their, a lyric in a song from their favourite group, I mean, they're going to be disappointed, yeah. Yeah, let's face it. Yeah, it's just terrible. But yeah, I find that Stone Brewing are pretty like hit and miss. To put it lightly, basically. Yeah, they're pretty hit and miss. Yeah, I've had a few good brews from them, but some have just, left a lot to be desired, I suppose. All right, well, probably time that I wrap this up and give it a score out of 10. So let's have one last gulp. Rightio, well, all in all, I find it quite disappointing. Yeah, the taste profile's all wrong. Yeah, it seems like just a bit of a gimmick brew, unfortunately. And I certainly wouldn't recommend it to any of you. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't buy it again. But it was interesting to try, I suppose. Anyway, I'd give it 4.5 out of 10, a pretty low score. So anyway, I might kick back and drink the rest of this, or I might just go and tip it in the garden over there. Rightio, well, I'll see you all in the next review, but until then, fare thee well, all.